We now know when Donald Trump's trial in Washington, D.C. will begin. The judge overseeing his election interference case has set the date for March 4th. That would be the first of his 4 legal cases to go to court. NBC10's Lauren Make joins us live in the newsroom with what that could mean. Lauren?
Well, Tracy, the calendar is getting crowded, both with legal and political events. That date is the day before Super Tuesday, one of the biggest days for political primaries. Well, now the judge in this federal case says it is the day to start jury selection for this trial against the former president.
Inside the federal courthouse in Washington, D.C., a decision that could have both legal and political implications. Judge Tanya Chutkan setting a date for former President Trump's trial on charges he tried to hold on to power, obstruct the January 6th congressional proceeding, and overturn the 2020 election. She chose March 4th, 2024. It's a little later than the government asked for and nearly 2 years earlier than Trump's defense team wanted.
Does that seem quick to you, given what you've experienced in trials?
It does, because when, the federal system is also different than the state system in the sense that most of the time the federal system, you get buried in a lot of discovery. You get a lot more documents than you do typically in a state case.
Enrique L1 Latoison is a defense attorney not involved in this case. He says he'd be surprised if that date sticks. In court today, Trump attorney John Lauro said the trial date is, quote, inconsistent with President Trump's right to due process and the right to effective assistance of counsel.
His attorneys were laying a framework for, we're not ready, we're not going to be prepared, and if you make us go forward, we are not giving our client, the former president of the United States, an adequate professional defense.
The date is also the day before Super Tuesday, when more than a dozen states are scheduled to hold their primaries. The former president right now leads the field for the GOP nomination. But now dotting the political calendar are 4 legal cases, including one in Georgia, where today Trump's co-defendant, former White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows, testified. Meadows is trying to get the Georgia case, which charges him and the former president in a conspiracy to overturn the state's 2020 election results, moved to federal court. On the stand today, Meadows described his job as White House Chief of Staff as a 24/7 kind of job, and that meetings with Pennsylvania and Michigan legislators mentioned in the indictment were part of that role.
His attorneys and him probably sat down with a checklist and said what would be more beneficial. And they have obviously come to the decision that having it in the federal court would be better for him and better for their defense.
Now, on that special counsel case in Washington, D.C., a Trump campaign spokesperson today released a statement saying that the date chosen, quote, deprives President Trump of his constitutional right to a fair trial, unquote. And on social media, former President Trump said he would appeal. Live in the newsroom, I'm Lauren Make, NBC10 News.